It was 3 years ago to the day that Barack Obama announced his bid for the White House, but in the past 3 months, the president has presided over major Democratic losses in Massachusetts, Virginia, and New Jersey. And when voters were asked how they would vote in the November midterms, it was split down the middle, 46% for the Democrats and 46% for the Republicans. Just 4 months ago, Democrats held a lead of 51 to 39. And now some Democrats, including former Virginia Governor Doug Wilder, say the president's trouble lies with these staffers in the West Wing and with Tim Kaine, the head of the Democratic National Committee. Governor Doug Wilder joins us live from Richmond, where he also served as mayor. Governor Wilder, let's start first by talking about the West Wing. What's the problem with the Chicago connection?
Well, they're fine people, obviously the most brilliant team assembled to get the president elected. The real question now is, how do you govern? And as you know, many times it's not a question of those same people being there. And you're really at the end of the first quarter. You've got 3 quarters left to play. Actually, you only got about another couple to play because the die would already have been cast. Is the game plan sufficient to carry you forward?
But what about the argument that, look, if you look at the challenges they've had, they were able to get the big stimulus passed. Had it not been for the vote in Massachusetts, they probably already would have had health care in the president's desk by now. That in terms of the fundamentals, turning around the economy, they've done that.
Well, I don't know. You say they've done that, but where are the jobs? And people out in the street are saying, well, if the economy is turned around and if jobs are the lagging indicators, then why must we always be waiting? Why must we always look for things to come forth? And when you now talk about going to get more jobs, to get more money rather, to get the jobs, where's that money going to come from? When you talk about sending more troops, where's that money going to come from? So the real question is, was too much put on the table in the first instance without including everyone that was looking for that change that really meant something? And when I speak about the direction that the party is going, we've lost Virginia, New Jersey, Massachusetts. We've had losses in Virginia that we shouldn't have lost. The real question is, do you keep the same team? Fine. But the voters are asking for different things. They want change.
And let's talk about Tim Kaine, who's overseeing the DNC, and I would suggest that, yes, you could hold him responsible for some of the losses, but couldn't you also then give him credit for the successes that Democrats had in 2008?
Like which ones were they?
Well, I don't know.
Which ones were you speaking of?
He helped President Obama carry the state of Virginia. He's widely regarded in the state of Virginia.
You're talking to somebody who had just as much to do with President Obama carrying the state of Virginia as other places around the country. I campaigned all over the country for President Obama. And so you're right, and the numbers of people want to take credit. We're talking about since having become the Democratic National Committee chairman.
Well, what was done differently? Because the last time I checked, the DNC has actually raised more money than the RNC, and that, as you know, is probably the most crucial role that a DNC head can have.
Well, that's not the exact truth, because you need to have organization at the grassroots levels. You got to engage people. One of the things that Barack Obama had going for him was people who'd never been courted before, who'd never been involved in voting before, who voted for this man because they believed in hope and change for them and for the country. That's not a matter of going out and seeing how much money you can raise, but doing something to energize and keep that going. And you don't see that in the polls. Every time the people have had an opportunity to reflect how they feel in the polls, they see something differently, and you see something differently.
Governor Wilder, I know that we've heard a lot of people talk about President Obama not having the best relationship with Congress as far as trying to get things done, and a lot of people like to put some of the blame at Rahm Emanuel's feet, or Valerie Jarrett, or David Axelrod, or Robert Gibbs. But doesn't it ultimately, if there's a problem, doesn't that ultimately rest with the president himself?
Hey, you put your hand again right on it. And that's what the president has got to be mindful of. I'm offering constructive criticism. I'm saying to the president, these are the people that should have told you from the beginning, have your own health care plan to submit to the Congress, and then ask them to support that plan, rather than to have them waste months and months and months arguing about which ones they could support. And then to have a job plan on the table table already as to how you're going to get jobs, what you're going to do to let people see that unemployment is serious, rather than to say, well, now we're going to talk about it further. And so if you have those advisors, and if the advisors are not doing the kinds of things you pointed to, the buck does stop with the president. The unfortunate thing is the president has only a couple of years left to really get in gear, because he'll be in full mode for re-campaign in a year or so.
Former Mayor of Richmond and former Governor of Virginia, Doug Wilder. Governor Wilder, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Always, Dave. Bye-bye.